Oh, it's hard to find when a shot could cut your mind off of the rest. You fall into this, but baby, not for long. All the people remember your name. Yeah, but nobody knows why you came. And nobody cares where you keep all your shoes.
Yeah, now I'm actually running, and running about 20 kilometres a week. We're about a week out from the first race. Rather than running the old squash shoes, I'm actually decided to come out and have a look at getting some proper, decent trail shoes.
Part of a movement, as in I'm a footwear retailer in a nation that's becoming, you know, big with its trail running. We love our trail running. There's more events. We're seeing a lot more trail runners come through the door, and in doing so, we're trying to accommodate with a broader range of trail running shoes. But the fact of the matter is that on the trail, you don't need the same level of support. You need to think about the terrain that you're on. You know, is it sandy, is it rocky, is it muddy, is it sticky and wet and muddy? You know, there's different types of soles to suit different types of terrains, and we're going to talk to you about where you run, you know, and a little bit about how your foot type works, and a little bit about, you know, your running style. But we're really interested in exactly where you are running, because I'm going to try and pick a shoe and help you with your selection based on the type of terrain you're running in. Before we get to even talking about shoes though, for us, we're interested in understanding a bit about you and your biomechanics, and mainly about how your feet work. So the process starts firstly with the questionnaire, giving your technician, giving me or the guy that's fitting you some information, injuries included in any past experiences. Before we get too excited about any of those funky shoes over on the wall there, I want to just fine tune what you need to try on by understanding what shoe suits you, and I can only do that by doing some tests on you. So, you know, the software that we use, the cameras, the videos, it's essentially what they call stop motion. So my eyes can only pick up so much in real time. You know, as many analyses as I've seen, I still can't see anywhere near as much as if I can stop things at certain points through your, you know, your gait cycle as it is, and understand how much support you need. Once we've done that, then we're going to go and talk about maybe what's the right shoe on the wall over there. There's heaps to choose from. Look, it's pretty important to kind of to get someone like Scott or anyone that's maybe looking at starting out a, you know, like a journey like this to come in early, you know, because look, Scott's he's a big guy, he's a heavily set guy, and that generally means there's a reasonably high degree of force, you know. So I want to make sure that we're protecting Scott's joints primarily from any excessive loading by dealing with the forces efficiently. That means just the right type of shoes. Through this analysis that we see here, we also see things about Scott's biomechanics that are best dealt with sooner than later. We'll go over here to our kind of analysis centre over here, and we'll do some video analysis work on you.
Okay.
Get you on the treadmill, take some recordings, you know, sit down and look at a bit of your running biomechanics. We're going to do some foot scans. We've got a bit of technology here that tells us about how your feet are dealing with pressure.
Okay.
If we look at those, if we look at those two mediums there, we'll be able to give you some ideas about not just what's the right shoe, but probably some areas, you know, within your biomechanics that you could work on to make your running a little bit easier.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I swear under the stairs I could tear my heart in two. I do it for you. It's all I can do, you know, baby. I know it won't take very long, not long.
fate that your foot lands on the ground, you're putting your heel down first. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
People run the way they run. I don't really want you to worry
Okay.
too much about the way you run just now.
Yep.
I can see one little toe on the outside of your foot.
Yep.
That pretty much tells me that left-hand side is just toed out just to the right amount. That's virtually the way that the body's meant to be aligned from a foot alignment point of view.
Okay.
A couple of frames later though, your foot is becoming weight bearing. And the foot is now, and the ankles are now dealing with about 4 times the body's weight.
Okay.
If you're walking, you really only ever place twice the body's weight through your feet. When you run, you double it. So
Okay.
it's pretty important that when you're talking about running, there's a shoe matched to your running
Okay.
requirements, not your walking or your squash or your other requirements.
So for when you're talking 4 times the body weight, for me, that's about half a ton of pressure on the ankles then,
Yeah, sure.
because I'm 127 kilos. So
Yeah,
it's,
sure.
Okay.
And the foot's a pretty
yeah.
a pretty amazing structure to deal with that, you know.
Oh,
and,
absolutely,
And
yeah.
we could go into a whole lot of discussions about that, but basically our feet are shock absorbing devices.
Yep.
The reason the foot is so complicated and the reason that the foot rolls in and out and all does all these things is that it deals with shock really well.
Okay.
For you.
Okay.
It's not about look or colour or price.
Yep.
What we want to try and figure out is, based on your foot type, a little bit about where you're running, the type of terrain you're running on,
Okay.
which one of these shoes is going to work really well.
Okay.
And we're going to stick with our trail category because we're talking about running off-road.
Yep.
And they're pretty different to the road running shoes.
Okay.
They might look quite similar and feel relatively similar, but the way they're built and the type of functionality we've got with a shoe like this range here, or what we see over here, is very, very different.
These are the old shoes. They're old squash shoes that I've been running in. I've done about 130 kilometres in these so far, but they're dead. And now I'm going to start going in these. I can't continue the journey in these old pairs, so I need something new like this. So thanks to Footpro and these guys, Solomon, I'm now wearing them and I've got them and I'll give them a go.